Yourself to the people.
Uh, what's up, guys? Sadiq here. Tune in.
Sadiq just won his basketball game. He starts at center / power forward / small forward. He gets rebounds, block shots, and does good hard fouls. I taught him how to do hard fouls, and he's getting to be really good at it. Hard fouls are good for the psychology of the game and the way things are going to go. So we have Sadiq here. I have my list here. Now, y'all know I always come prepared. I always come prepared. If I'm going to talk about a topic, I'm going to talk about that topic. Right? Now, this topic, come on up, Sadiq, because I'm going to ask you some questions as we go. This topic came to me for one particular reason. Many of our sisters are single. Many of them are waiting for the right man, or ought to be waiting for the right man, or would claim to be waiting for the right man. And they feel that it is all our fault. The men aren't up to par. And that's why they're single, because the men aren't up to par. Right? And a large part of that is true. That's the reason we started BPM, to build men. Because I noticed the shortage of real black men. We're going to take young black boys and raise them into the black men that we need to lead our families and our communities. But, ladies and gentlemen, there's two sides to every story. And the lack of black men is not the only reason sisters are single, right? The lack of black men is not the only reason some of our sisters don't have husbands and haven't been in substantive relationships for over 10 years. It's not the only reason. So, last week I spent critiquing black men who cheat on their wives. I can't stand that. That's a pet peeve of mine, right? Because whenever you do that, that makes the rest of us look bad. Whenever you do that, that destroys a family. And I'm all about the black family. Ain't that right, Sadiq?
Yes, sir.
So I spent all of last week critiquing the men. The black men, okay? So this week we're talking about the women. What are the things, internal thoughts, habits, ways, ideologies, things about you that could be causing you to be single and not be a wife? And so as I thought about it, I thought to myself, well, what things would a real black man look for in a wife? Right? What things would you look for, Sadiq? Give me the top three.
She got to be able to cook.
Damn, that's number one.
Yeah, because you know.
Because Sadiq said he's skinny, so. Okay, cook, what else?
She got to be able to stay faithful.
Be faithful? Okay, what else?
And she got to be able to be a mom.
She got to be able to be a mom. Those are pretty good, big fella. Matter of fact, all three of those are going to come up on the list. All right? So, here we go. The top 10 things that real black men look for in a wife. Now, normally, on a more academic topic, I would just go straight to the books. Right? I would just go straight to the books. I'd be citing Dr. Claude. I'd be citing Chancellor Williams. I'd be going to Bob Baruti. But tonight, I'm going to be speaking from things that I've seen. I happen to be qualified to speak on this topic, being that I've been married, 6, 7 years? How long have I been married?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got to go ask Melanie about that. 2 babies, faithful, black queen. You know what I'm saying? And I got to be an alpha male because I'm such an alpha male, they call me hyper masculine. So I got to be an alpha male. But guess what? My wife is not no little old pushover either, is she, Sadiq? Oh, no. So guess what? We both done had to learn a thing or two. So I believe I can speak on this topic to a certain extent. I'm not Baba Baruti or nothing, but I believe I can say something. You know what I'm saying? And if you disagree with what I say, we always have room to have a little debate. Okay? So, here we go. The top 10 things that a real black man looks for in a wife. Now, first we have to define real black man. Because some of these men out here have lists of what they want in a woman, but they not shit themselves. Right? Some of them, like I see in the meme, it says, a lot of y'all men just want a good woman that'll stay loyal and be there when you come home from cheating all day. Right? We're not talking about them. That's why I said a real black man. Right? We're going to talk about the components of a real black man first before we can get to this top 10 list. To me now, from my study, and I've done a bit of studying, I have 2 degrees, and that's, I guess you would say that's European knowledge because I went to a PWI undergrad at a mostly white law school. But I've done the studying from my ancestors as well, more importantly than the degree aspect of it. And from what I've studied, from reading Dr. Clark, from reading Barbara Rudy, from reading Chancellor Williams, from reading Dr. Ben, from listening to a lot of lectures from Amos Wilson, Dr. Amos Wilson. This is my definition of what a real black man is. And from writing 2 books myself, right? And from building young black men, because this used to be a little wimp over here. Now he's a 6'2" power forward, making great grades, staying out of trouble, and doing what he's supposed to do as a BPM leader. So this is my definition. A real black man is one who willfully accepts and commits to his African ancestral duties to his family and people overall, and so he will put his all into leading, guiding, protecting, and providing for his queen, his children, and his community. Bullet point A. He knows who he is and is serious. Serious is an important word here. About laying the foundation for the long-term success of his family and people. Bullet point B. Not soft, weak, or timid, and not into playing games. That goes back to being serious. Some people get married with no intentions of being faithful and being serious about the marriage. That's bullshit, and that's not a real black man. Okay? So he willfully accepts and commits to his African ancestral duties. That means he knows who he is. You can't accept those duties if you don't know what those duties are. If you haven't studied Africa, if you haven't studied what our ancestors passed down to us, if you haven't studied our ways. For example, when we were in Africa, if you read, I guess I am going to cite to Chancellor Williams. If you read The Destruction of Black Civilization, we would split the boys over here and the girls over here, and the men would go take the boys and the women would take the girls, and they would teach them specifically the responsibilities of manhood, and the responsibilities of womanhood, and the responsibilities of being a husband, and the responsibilities of being a wife, and the different roles that you play. And they would teach them in an age grade system. You know, you got your quadrant with youth of your own age, and they would teach them specifically what it means to be an African man or woman, husband or wife, right? So when you go back and study and see what our ways were, I'll give you an example. In Greece, one of their rites of passage into manhood was to be sodomized, right? Before, you would have a mentor who would teach you war, who would teach you different components of manhood, and he would also be your lover. See, we didn't have that in Africa, okay? We didn't have that in Africa. You would learn to hunt. The women actually did a lot of the gathering. Women actually ran a lot of the marketplaces. You see, you would be taught the different components and brought into manhood. And I believe as men today, we have to go back and study that and see what our duties were, because our families were in a lot better condition then than they are now, right? And then a part of real manhood, black manhood, is you have a duty not only to your own wife and kids, but to your whole community. Because there are kids out there who don't have real fathers or any fathers. There are families that are broken. And if you just say, hey, I got me and my kids, we good to go, I don't consider you a real man. I'm taking care of my family. Okay, get the hell away from you, selfish. That's not African. That's individualism. That's not African. Okay, that's why we gotta always look back to Africa. That's why white supremacists, the LGBTQ, all of our enemies want us to break our links to Africa. That means we need to make our links stronger than ever. All right? He knows who he is. He's not running around here like this damn cop out of Milwaukee talking about he supports Donald Trump. What's that? Sheriff Clark. Dumbass. Come on, you can't be a real black. Well, he don't even got a black woman, so we should have known. Who else? You got the fat boy on ESPN, Whitlock. He don't know who the hell he is. And then the other loudmouth wimp, I slap the taste out of his mouth if I ever see him, Stephen A. Smith. Don't know who the hell he is. Right? You got to know who you are. They're not soft. They're not weak. And they're doing a good job of trying to teach us that black manhood must include gender-confused, weak, timid, soft, feminine individuals. That's bullshit. Do I have Barbara Rudy's book? It's in my other room. I would put that up right now, so I guess I am going to be citing books tonight. But no, and they serious about their family. You can't be serious about your family and have 5 side hoes. Can you, Sadiq?
No, sir.
But what if you really love your wife and you still pay the bills, but you got 5 side hoes? It'll be all right?
It's not gonna work.
Why not?
It's not a family.
Why not? You got a family at home, you got kids, you got a wife, you just got some side hoes. What's the problem?
You don't supposed to have those.
Why not? You still take care of home. What's the problem?
Cause they might come and mess your family up, and then your kids might see that.
Oh, you risking things and you setting a bad example for your kids. Oh, okay. All right, so when I'm talking about the things a real black man would be looking for, I ain't talking about what Tiger Woods looking for. Tiger Woods looking for sex on a boat with some European women, right? I ain't talking about what he looking for. I'm talking about what a real black man looking for. So, my list is pretty much in order, although a lot of the concepts, they kind of coincide. So the first thing, now I'm telling you what I was looking for. And I think that and I hang around a lot of real African black men, the ones that are married, that are doing the right thing, because that's pretty much all I can use in BPM. Most of my key volunteers that work with these kids, they're married to black women. And because that's what we preach, so we have to practice it. And then the ones that aren't married, the single men that we have, we putting pressure on their ass every day to find you a queen. Right? We're not giving any brownie points for sleeping around. Get the hell away from me with that. That's not what we promote. Hell yeah, we doing outright, overt peer pressure. Need to find you a queen and get the building for the empire. Because the community is nothing but a conglomerate of black families. We need families, not single men running around out here trying to be pretty boys. Is that right, Sadiq?
Yes, sir.
So what age you gonna get married?
Probably 25.
25? Okay, that's a good age. All right, the number one thing on my list, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, that a real black man ought to be looking for in a black woman that I was looking for is spirituality. Okay, Sadiq didn't say this. He said cooking. My wife can cook, but come on, Sadiq, that can't be the number one thing, man. Okay? Spirituality. Your relationship with God. Some people say the Creator. Some people say Allah. Some people say Jesus Christ. Some people say the divine supreme being. Okay, somebody, you better know it's a God, because I can't get with you without that. Okay, well, why is this important? Because your relationship with God provides morality and strength beyond just knowing what's right and wrong, or even your own individual promises. What do I mean by that? When you have a true relationship with God, you're not just trying to please the other person. You're not just trying to do what you think is right and wrong. And that means you know God is watching at all times. You want to please God because you made vows before God. That means this is a higher commitment. That means this ain't something to play with for you. That means you're serious about this. I ain't talking about I go to church, I go to mosque. So, yeah, that'll make you spiritual. You could be up in church looking for women. Right, Sadiq? That's what Sadiq used to do at my... No, but when I know that woman got some real spirituality, that means she's going to have some faith, right? Faith make you strong. That help you get through tough times, right? That means she ain't giving up real quick. That means she's thinking on another plane. Because some of these women out here are worse bed hoppers than men now, right? Some of these men, somebody say, do you have to believe in the same God? Bring that question back up at the end, because that's a good question. But some of these women don't have any morals anymore. Any morals. You got women out here with no morals. I never thought that women were dogs. When I heard a dog, I said, that's a man. Men want to run around, chase booty, la. That's a man. I talked to a woman, a good black woman. And she said to me, I said, I think 95% of men are dogs. She said, well, Vern, I hate to tell you, but nowadays about 75% of women are dogs too. Well, damn. We got both sides to work on, but see, that goes with not having that spiritual basis. That goes without having that spiritual basis. You just show up to church, but you ain't really in tune with God. You operating on a low frequency. You operating, I like to call it this, a short term frequency. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not thinking about eternity. You're not thinking about long term. You're thinking about your little lusts and desires right now. So let me give you a hint. You got women around here, and this in the conscious community. I'm not just talking about the hypocritical whitewashed Christian European community. You know, see the whitewashed Christianity. I can speak on it because I'm a Christian. I can't speak on what's going on in the mosque, even though I go to a mosque frequently. I could just tell you this. In the conscious community, you listen to me. I done seen it with my own eyes. And outside the conscious community. You have black women who claim they're waiting on their husband. They're looking for the right man. They want to be wives. They want to be married. They want to be queens. But they sleeping with everything come through breathing with a few kind words and a little swag in the meantime. Do you see? I'm talking about they sleeping with single, married, divorced, married, about to get a divorce, divorced, about to get married. How in the hell you telling me you waiting on your Boaz? See, that's the term they use in Christianity. I believe it comes from the story of Ruth. And they say that they waiting on their Boaz because Boaz kind of represents this strong, virtuous black man, and he's just the ideal husband. How the hell you waiting on your Boaz, but you sleeping with everybody else Boaz? That's your ass. Okay. All right. Just wait a minute now. Let's be honest with this. You're saying you're waiting on God to send you this king. You're saying you're ready to be a queen and a mother, but you sleeping with somebody else's husband. Am I making this shit up? No. You just look around. Or you out being taken home by any old body. You talking to 4, 5 guys, sleeping with 2 or 3 of them. But you waiting? That's like saying, God, I'm waiting on you to give me my new car, but I'm going to steal every car I see till I get it. What? That's not waiting. You waiting to exhale. I don't know what the hell you doing. Mm-hmm. All right. See, but that goes back to that spirituality. That goes back to that morality. Right? I didn't get, how old was I when I got married? About 26? 25? I wasn't going around sleeping with everything I saw, talking about God, send me a wife. You know what I'm saying? God, I got 5 hoes over here, but send me a wife. Then I'll stop. Hell no, that's not how it works. Better get serious about your spirituality and your morality. Talk about you want to be a wife. That's point 1. If the black man doesn't have that on this list, there's something wrong with him. All right? Number 2, loyalty. That's why I said some of these things collide, because that goes back underneath spirituality. When I say loyalty, everybody want to think about being faithful, but loyalty is more than that. Yeah, I don't need you sleeping with nobody else, kissing other men, being overly flirtatious, and yeah, duh, that's loyalty. But I'm talking about more than that. Being a teammate, right? It's a lot of components to a marriage. We're going to be tag teammates financially. We're going to have to be tag teammates with these kids. We're going to have to be tag teammates even when it gets rough. In Florida, you're going to have to be tag teammates through hurricanes, right? Through the lights out, right? I'm going to need you to be loyal. We on a team. Nah, I shouldn't have to worry about if you have another guy up here, right? That shouldn't even be on my mind. I ain't gonna be able to make no money if that's on my mind. I'm sitting here, getting ready for trial, trying to bring in new clients, to bring in new money. But I got to worry about if you got another dude up here, big fella, my mind messed up, we finna be broke. No, I'm talking about loyalty. We on a team. Don't mess up the team now. Now, let me ask you a question. The women who said that they want to be married, do you respect marriage? See, I respect marriage. Want me to tell you how much I respect marriage? I don't believe in divorce. Okay? You got to have a catastrophic, devastating, horrendous, out of this world thing going on for me to say get a divorce. And I'm talking about in my own marriage. Marriage is tough, hard, long, tedious. Yeah, everybody said just you're going to come home to some rose petals in the bed. That might happen once a year. The rest of the time we working, right? And there's fights, disputes, arguments, confrontation. Hey, both me and my wife done said some mean things to each other. I've even been told, I hate you. Okay? I've even been told, I hate your dumb ass. Well, good. Just go back in that room and hate me, and I'm going to sit on this couch and hate you, but nobody's going nowhere. We're going to be right here hating each other. Because guess what? Now I'm going to give y'all a secret. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to give y'all a secret. The man going to need that woman, and that man ain't going to hate that woman. All that woman got to do is walk by and, let's just say, not fully dressed. And that manhood is going to kick back in, and he's going to find a way to get over that hate. And all that woman has to do is run up on a bill or any expense or anything that she ain't got the money to pay. She going to roll up on big fella like, hey, I know I hate you, but I want to get this pedicure. You know what I'm saying? The hate will subside and the love will return, but ain't nobody going nowhere if you respect marriage, right? It's a contract. Till death do us part. Nah, how about that? Well, you should be happy all the time. No, the hell you not. You wasn't even happy all the time when you were single. Now you talking about living with another person, think you're going to be happy all the time? No, now marriage has a lot of happy moments. A lot of great benefits. It's a beautiful thing. But it's not happy all the time. It ain't all peaches and cream. There's some sour grapes up in there too. But do you respect marriage? I don't even use the word divorce. The hell is a divorce? That means I quit. That means we have another broken family. That means we splitting the kids back and forth. That means I'm not in the house with my daughters. That means it might be some damn freak in the house with my daughters. Divorce? Hell no. What? Hell no. To the no. But half of you women that aren't married, I already know y'all don't respect marriage because y'all mess with married men. Oh, I ain't know. How the hell you ain't know? Did you ever go to his house? Well, if you're sleeping with a dude that never took you by his house, you got another set of moral issues. Okay? Hang in there when it's tough. That's another part of this loyalty. I think I covered that enough. Time's gonna get tough. It's been times where me and my wife had to scrape up loose change to pay the rent. Nah, how about that? Gonna cuss me out? Hey, you gonna cuss me out and quit when we get down to the loose change? Nah, big fella. If you want to go from the apartment to the house, right? If you want to go from the old car to the new car, right? You're gonna have to stick this out. Nah, how about that? Bam, that's number 2. Loyalty. Now somebody stop me if I'm wrong. Number 3, a real black man is going to be looking for a black woman with a level of consciousness. Okay? Real black man ain't want to be sitting up in here talking about black independence, economic, political, and social, and you over here talking about the goddamn selfie challenge or the twerk challenge. Okay? Real black man, he gonna be looking at you talking about what in the hell have I got myself into? Real black man say, I want to listen to the Battle of the Bullet. You say, I want to watch Love and Hip Hop. Real black man say, I want to go down here to the library and get some books. You say, I want to go to the club and pop some bottles. Real black man say, hey, we got to get something together for our community. You say, forget that. I'm thinking about this weave I want. And that's another topic, because real black men ain't really finna be dipped up with this weave too much longer. I'll tell you that to your face. The real black man gonna want something natural after a while. But let's talk about consciousness. What is consciousness? If the real black man want a conscious woman, here go my definition, which goes along with the irritated genie definition, which goes along with the Francis Cress Wilson definition. Consciousness is a recognition that we as Africans in the diaspora are under attack by all other racial groups. That's consciousness. If you can admit that, you have a level of consciousness. If you can't say that, you're not conscious. This is not the place for you. I don't want you around me if you can't admit that. We are under attack by all other racial groups. Which ones? Europeans, Arabs, Jews, Asian, everything you can think of. They want us at the bottom and them at the top. They colonized Africa. They enslaved us. They want us either under their control to be exploited or completely wiped out. Okay, that's the beginning of consciousness. Once you realize that, and that each of us and the whole of us must act in the best interest of our people to survive and win our independence. That's consciousness. 9. We under attack. They want to destroy us, defeat us, exploit us, and it's upon us as blacks. See, this is some consciousness now. Women better be conscious, running around here talking about we need to join hands with the immigrants, the white feminists, and the LGBT. You shut the hell up. Those are other groups that are against us. 9. You better sit down and listen to John Henry Clark. You have no friends. Now, okay? That's where bed wenching came up. I made a couple posts about bed wenching today because I'm talking about what men want in their women. And I done seen where black women, the men don't know they're a bed wench. This is a horrible person to be married to. Now, what's a bed wench? You know, Sadiq? Okay, I'm going to teach you right now. A bed wench is a black woman who has a mental condition as a result of internalized white supremacy, our history in this country. She has begun to identify with, she has an elevated admiration, an elevated love, an elevated view of the European male, the slave master. She thinks he is the ultimate measure of manhood, strength, power, and success, right? She might be dating a black guy, but in the back of her mind, she fantasizing about Prince Harry, right? Really, that's really what she would leave that black guy in a second to be with Prince Harry, or the white guy on Scandal, right? She'll bend over backwards to be in one of those situations with what they call white daddy, right? And so this type of black woman, I've seen it. Now you got to listen to me. Black man, if you're considering a woman as a wife, you need to check and you need to find out is at any time in her recent past she dated white guys. Serena Williams, good example. You got to find out if she dated white guys. Because if this sister you think about marrying, you know, the guy before you, or the guy before the guy before you, or the guy before the guy before the guy before you, you got to check this out now. If he was white, this sister might have an infatuation. And there's whole communities of these people. They call the swirlers. They think it's nothing better than to get a white man to validate them and make some swirl babies. Right? This is the problem, black man. You can say that was her past. You can say that. But I've seen that. I've seen this with my own eyes. I don't got to cite nobody. I'm going to cite to myself on this one. I have seen real black men, talking about brothers, marry these bed wenches. And that bed wench's main aim is to turn him as close into a white man in speech, thought, and action as she can possibly get you. All this black stuff you talking, la da 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 da, she finna change you. You finna dress different. You finna speak different. And if not, you ain't coming out the door. And here's the thing, my friends. This bed wench will bend over backwards, break her neck, jump up and down, and do jumping jacks for her white boss at work. Let's just say his name is Harry, right? Prince Harry. She will do anything for him. If he calls and says the day before Christmas, you know what? You got this day off. You have plenty of PTO, but I just need you to come in. Yes, I'll be there. What time? Let me get dressed. If you come to her when she is off and say, can you cook me some eggs? I'm tired. I don't know why you bothering me. But if Prince Harry would have asked for the eggs, you would have got the damn chicken and the egg. Right? That's a bed wench. She got more respect, a lot more respect for white daddy than she got for her black spouse. That's a mental condition. It exists. Just like black men who are, I don't like to get off topic, but I got to use this analogy. There's black men who marry black women who really want them to be a white woman. And the first chance they get, they're going to leave and go get a white woman. That exists because they think white women are a status symbol. They're more submissive. They can do what they want and get away with it. That exists. But you know it's a flip side to that, too. And that's a bad wench. And that goes along with how conscious he is. Because if she's conscious, she know that the white man is her worst nightmare. That's the first deadbeat dad. That's the worst rapist. That's the worst. Come on now, let's go back to Greece. Now, he has things in his history that I never had in mind. Okay? Bam. Consciousness. Now, number 4, I just put an umbrella term. Intellect. What comes onto intellect? I put intelligence, reasoning, critical thinking, ability to converse and articulate. 9 days. Now, this is the thing that gets me. And I see this every day in Jacksonville. I see sisters that are fine. Yeah, I'm married, but yeah, married men still look at women. Get over it. I see sisters that are fine and seem to have everything together, but they fine, physically attractive in real life and in social media. But they don't have no man. Right? They got the breast, they got the butt, they got the flat stomach. I say, well, I wonder why. They don't have a man. Because it's 9 days, it take more than that. You can purchase that stuff. Do you see? A real man is looking for more than that. I mean, I see girls on Instagram with the big butts and the flat stomachs and a lot of followers and I never seen a picture when they at work. I'm like, do you get naked for a living? Is this what you do? You take booty pictures? It's got to be more to you than that. Well, that's what the men are saying. It's got to be more to you than that. It's a reason that most of the baddest IG models, and I'm talking about the straight up booty models, the girls that are posing as fitness, you know what I'm saying? They're posing as fitness models, but they're really just trying to show their ass. They all single. Well, your husband. Yeah, you look impeccable. Okay, I give it to you. You look like God made you for perfection. So where's your husband? Because I see women that don't look so extraterrestrial. They got husbands and children. So what the hell are you lacking? Reasoning. Can you think through something? Can you see both sides? Can you see the pros and the cons? Can you see the if and the then, the but for, the maybe? Can you make logical conclusions? Can you calculate? Can you use critical thinking? Can you say, yes, I want to do this, but now my marriage is more important, so I can't do that. So my whole ass friends that's going to the club, I probably shouldn't go with them because they don't respect marriage. And then when they say, well, your husband trying to tell you what to do, I say, well, your husband ain't trying to tell you what to do because you don't have a husband. Right? Can you think critically? Are you able to converse? I come home and I say, man, I'm seeing some clear disparities in the treatment of my clients based on race. And you say, what the hell is a disparity? Wait a minute. You got to have some intellect here nowadays. We can't even talk. Well, you might as well, I guess you might as well be one of them IG models that you can't even converse and articulate and understand and think. That's not going to work these days, ladies. Let me tell y'all a secret. My wife handles all the bills. Why? Because she's more thoughtful and more careful and more responsible in paying things on time than I am. She just says, you need to bring me this money by this date and A, B, C, and D will get paid. I don't always know what's getting paid. All I know is better her than me. Now, you can't give that power to a dummy. Your ass will be evicted by tomorrow. Mortgage ain't getting paid. Cars getting repossessed. Hell, I need to go pay my car note right now, come to think of it. Because that's the one I have to pay myself. Yeah, you're going to have some brains, ladies. Sorry. Booty ain't going to get it. Now, twerking will take you a long way. But not to wifehood. Okay? Now, number 5 on my list, fellas. I don't know if y'all got this one, but I put self-control. And self-control goes into many different avenues. But I'm going to give you what came to my mind and why I made it number 5. The ability to control one's emotions and act with class and restraint even in heated situations. I'll give you an example. Not too long ago on Thanksgiving, I had my wife's side of the family over. There was a feminist auntie here that had a bone to pick with me for probably something I said on social media. I don't know why she didn't like me. I ended up having to kick her ass out. You know, I don't play that kind of stuff in my house. You're going to be respectful in my house. I don't come to your house, but in my house you're going to be respectful. So she made some comments and like I said, I don't play like that. I said, just you need to leave. And for about 5 seconds, it was a tense situation because this is my wife's side of the family. Of course, she doesn't like me kicking somebody out. But what she did was restrain herself because she seen that I was dead serious. Right? And I don't just arbitrarily kick people out. You see what I'm saying? If something must have happened. So when my wife saw the thing getting ready to go down, she automatically stood up. That's her nature. You see, my wife is not no pushover. It's nothing European about her. But she was able to think critically, analyze what was going on, and say, okay, this nigga dead serious. Let me move back. she gonna have to go. And we'll talk about this later. Right? That's critical thinking. That's self-control. Because what she could have did is, you ain't kicking. Now we got a damn problem because the man, a real man ain't finna back down and say, okay, she can stay. Now stuff getting thrown, curse words getting used, physical violence. No, sister. You got to have some self-control. That goes for both sides, but today we're talking about sisters. You got to have some self-control. Just because we out somewhere and we have a disagreement, you can't cuss me out. Just like I can't cuss you out. You can't go off on me and slap me. I just seen a post by my boy Mitchell Chance. And I guess he went back and done the research, and there was a documentary that was released. And it said that Rihanna actually slapped, kicked, punched Chris Brown first. And spit on him and did all kind of stuff. Nobody ever asked her to apologize. But then when Chris reacted, he was made to be the worst devil in hell. Right? No, you got to have some self-control, woman. Damn. You done cussed me out, throw juice on me, and then we find out 5 minutes later it wasn't even that serious. No, you got to have some self-control. Now, number 6. I want all you women who are listening, I'm going to give you women the key now. This is the key to life. I'm about to give you the key to wife. I want you to take notes. Now, this coming from an alpha black male. 6 feet tall, 285 damn pounds. Black business owner. Doesn't work for no white people. Studies our history. And is 100% dedicated to the black family. I used to say God, man, woman, child. Now that I read Baruti, I say God, child, woman, man. I'm finna give you the key to wife. Okay? If you want a real black man, if you want an alpha male, a leader, a protector, a warrior, one thing you're gonna have to master is your femininity. Yes. Listen to me well. Write this down. Record this. Send this to your friends. No real black man wants a woman that's more manly than him or tries to be as manly as him. Do you see? I want the opposite. I'm big, 280, loud, aggressive. You think I want a woman doing the same damn thing? You telling people off? Fighting? Damn. Okay. You won't even put on no heels? Won't wear no... What the hell? Wait a minute. This ain't gonna work. Listen to me. I'm giving you the key to wife. I'm going to give you some components of this. Black women hate this word. The key to wife, your femininity, key component is that is a willingness to submit. Oh, you can't tell me to submit. Women's liberation. Black Lives Matter said that the women, the transgenders, and the queers are going to rule. I'm not submitting. We're going to rule. Audre Lorde. What's that FBI? Gloria Steinem, FBI agent. We don't have to submit. I'm not cooking. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Willingness to submit, cooperate, and follow in areas that fall under the man's purview. So you ain't know I was finna say that. Some stuff the man supposed to lead in. Some stuff the woman supposed to lead in. You won't let the man lead in shit. You don't want to be told nothing. You want to be in control of everything. Well, hell, is the brother stupid? If he that stupid, why you married him? Right? And let me talk about this submission. See, because I didn't realize how this important this was until I really started to think. Because I got my wife, I got out of the game, I ain't care no more. But as I look back on it, and I see marriages that fail, and I see marriages that work, and I encounter these different kind of women, I say submission is a hell of a thing. Submission is a hell of a thing. I'm going to tell you why. What is submission, Sadiq?
Is it in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually staying with them through thick and thin? Thick?
That's a part of it. Go get my fan. Listen to this, women. I've been around women that have no inkling of submission, and I don't know what hell happened to them, but I'm talking about they just as bullheaded, aggressive, rebellious, loud, and goddamn manly as a man. Let me give you an example. I'm not talking submission like you let somebody walk all over you. I'm talking about submission like you know how to use your femininity to get what you want instead of trying to outman the man. Do you see what I'm saying? If you use your femininity, you'll get further than sitting here trying to outman the man. I'm trying to tell you. So I was out and we were reading. And I was with a group of friends, some male, some female. And one of the females that were there, it was my first time ever having to actually sit down and converse with this person. And every topic that came up some of the topics I wasn't an expert on, some I was. But I'm talking about the ones I was an expert on. She didn't want to hear anything we had to say. She didn't give it any credibility. She thought she was right. She was ready to fight. You don't know. I'm talking about she didn't know what the hell she was talking about. But she was as bullheaded as a pit bull. And that's an accurate term right now because pit bulls were one of the topics. Now, being a person from the ghetto, I grew up around pit bulls, right? And in the ghetto, they have this sport called dog fighting. Okay? You know what Michael Vick got in trouble for? Well, as a child, I encountered a lot of dog fights. I was around a lot of people who fight dogs. I learned which dogs were the best for dog fighting. I learned which attributes were required for a dog fight. This is all illegal stuff, so don't go do it. I'm just telling you how I grew up. So I happen to know a bit about dog fighting, and one of the key attributes that a dog has to have to be a good fighter is called gameness. Gameness simply means you're aggressive and relentless and you don't quit. Even when you're exhausted, you getting beat down, you just gonna keep coming back, right? And pit bulls are bred to be game. That's why they can hunt boars. That's why they can protect you. That's why they can get into trouble because they bred to never stop. Other dogs aren't bred that way, right? So when pit bulls and dogs came up, I began to break this down to the young lady, and she said, no, my Rottweiler would kill a pit bull because he's trained in obedience training. I said, young lady, I said, sister, that's totally irrelevant. You don't seem to understand the science of dog fighting. A Rottweiler is not bred to do that. A Rottweiler is a work dog bred in Germany to work on farms and cattle and things of that nature. He's not bred to be in a pit. He's not going to be game. He can very well be bigger than a pit bull, beat the pit bull up for 5 minutes, then give up and quit because he's not. It's not what he's made to do. That's like putting a policeman up against an attorney in the courthouse just because he's a good policeman. Yeah, but he's not made to be an attorney. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, no, my dog is level 5 obedience training. He attacks something. I say, okay, sister, that's not relevant. I say, God damn, this is a mean sister here. Wrong as hell. Totally wrong. Don't know what the hell she's talking about, but ready to fight. So then, as the conversation moved on, we came back to more legal, mainstream topics. We began discussing the rules of evidence in court. And by this time, I had been practicing law for maybe 4 or 5 years. This sister had never practiced law, didn't have a law degree, and she started to try to tell me what the rules of evidence were. And I'm like, sister, no, that's not how it works. Certain things are admissible, certain things are not. Witness can testify. No, I'm telling you, how you gonna do this? I'm like, sister, do you have a law degree? Have you done a criminal trial? How in the hell are you gonna tell me? Well, I know, and I say, damn. I said, this sister's not even pleasant to be around. She's not feminine at all. She like George Jefferson from the Jeffersons. I told her friend, I said, don't ever bring her back. We don't want her. She can't be amongst us. Because not only is she ignorant, she's loud, aggressive, bullheaded, and masculine. I said, because the sister was fairly attractive. But after that, I said, I see why she don't have a man. The only man she could get is one that's neutered already. So she could be the man. Right? Ladies. Bullheadedness, aggression, loud, masculinity. These are characteristics we look for in linebackers and fullbacks, not wives. Not wives. Now, let me say this. Submission goes both ways because there are areas where the woman is supposed to lead. And the man need to shut the hell up and back the hell up in those areas. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. But there's areas where the man is supposed to lead and teach and guide. And if you can't understand that and fall back, and if the man is wrong, you fall back and use your feminine powers. See, this is the thing. The woman got feminine powers. Feminine powers are the most powerful because they can break men. I'll give you an example. I've been around very feminine women. I've been around very masculine women. The feminine women, when you ask them to do something, with the submissive women, oh, okay. You want me to do this too? But this is how my wife got me to marry her. When I first started going to interact with my wife, well, she wasn't my wife then, she would ask me, what did I want to eat? And at that time, I was in law school. I was used to living off Roman noodles. What you want to eat tonight? That's a hell of a question. My first response was always chicken. She made some hell of a chicken. Then she said, okay, what you want to eat tonight that's not chicken? She made some hell of a chicken Alfredo and brought it to me on a plate. I said, damn it, I'm living the good life. I said, see, women, you got to learn. Cooking and bringing that man his food, that's another subtopic. That's why Sadiq put that first. It's something psychological about that. But all I'm saying right now is the submission aspect of it. I've been around women throughout law school and undergrad. You ask them to do something, take you here, do that. Okay, come on. Where you need to go? A lot of these women that are submissive, these women that they want to make sure you're okay, they are going to get, this is just my opinion from what I've seen, they are going to get the most, because then on the flip side, you're not going to feel right telling them no. Do you see what I'm saying? She done cooked, she done took me here, she done ironed my clothes, then she turned around and asked for $50 and I'm going to say no? No, I'm going to say yes, just 50? Here, you know what I'm saying? See, it goes both ways. When these, I'm just telling you from what I've seen, experienced, and felt. When women submit, I'm talking about to a real man now, not a dirtbag who's just going to take advantage of you. That lets the man, that opens up a part of the man that says, damn, this sister's treating me like a king. I better be able to reciprocate. You see what I'm saying? I better be able to reciprocate. Now, if I come home to a home-cooked meal, how's your day, honey? Clean house. And at the end of that conversation, my wife just so happens to ask for an extra $100. I'm not in a position to say no. Am I, Sadiq? I'm pretty much tied in. But if I come home and my wife meet me at the door like, I need an extra $100. You need to start bringing home more money. Well, we finna have a fight. Because instead of using your feminine powers, you just tried to out-masculine me. And I'm an alpha male. Well, you need to get the hell out my face. How about that? I got other shit to do. Leave me the hell alone. How about that? Because you acting like a man. You just finna check me. I don't let nobody check me. Not in my house. Not outside either. In my hood, the thing we used to always say, whenever we get attacked, cracked on, and we can't really make a comeback, the first thing we say was, I bet you can't beat me. Well, you meet me at the door like that, all I'm about to say is, I bet you can't beat me. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm telling you, women, you're not going to get anywhere with a real black man trying to out-tough, out-loud, out-masculine, out-fight, out-man him. He's not going to want to be around you. Me and my friends talk about this. But if you realize that your feminine powers can overwhelm this brother, that's when you're winning. Yeah, when you use your feminine powers, that's when you're winning. Can't say no. I got the food on the stove. I got on lingerie. What you need, baby? Can't say no. But nah, you want to be masculine. But take your ass over there with the feminists and be single and be a lesbian. All right? Okay? I'm giving you the key to wife. Now that's the key to wife. If you follow that rule I just gave you, all this other stuff gonna fall in up underneath it. With an alpha black male. That's the key to wife. 9. Let's go on. We on number 7. We almost out of here, people. Motherly. 9. y'all should see my wife with these kids. She's an all-American. Well, no, she's an all-African. Don't let me use that terminology just because I was in the football plantation for so many years. She's an all-African. Motherly, serious, responsible, selfless, and loving when it comes to the hard work of building strong children. It's hard work. Fellas, if you think about this woman, right, if she's selfish, she got some growing to do before she's going to be a good mother. You ought to see the things that my daughters put my wife through. I'll give you one example. If I might work all day and I'm stressed out with clients, you know, because nobody wants to go to jail. They all want to go home. And, you know, that's pressure when a lot of them guilty. I got to make something up and come up with something. When I come home, I can say that I'm going to, you know, have me a workout, have me a drink, and I'm taking my fat self to sleep. I can say that. I do that frequently. That's within my powers to do, my control. At the same time, I hope my wife not watching this because she takes some of my compliments and use them against me in later arguments, but she got a master's degree in education. She's smart as hell. But at the same time, my wife, and she teaches in a public school, low-income black kids, a lot of challenges. When she's stressed out, she's tired, had a rough day, exhausted, and she comes home, she can't say, I'm just finna go to sleep. Because Sage, who was only 7 months, might have different plans. Sage may want to play with mommy. You know, the baby's still attached to mommy at that age. Daddy won't do sometimes. Sage may want to eat, and my wife breastfeeds. Sage may not be ready to go to sleep. So she doesn't have the option to just jump in the bed and go to sleep and get some rest. Whereas I do, right? Instagram is about to shut me off. I'm going to start it right back over. That's our hour. Let me get Instagram back up. We almost out of here anyway. Let me let the Instagrammers get back in here. Marvin Crowder, I really appreciate how you take your time to speak all this knowledge. If no one tell you they appreciate you, I do. Appreciate that, brother. Here go Joy Israel. I tell hubby, let me rub those feet. Game over. The food on the stove too, for sure. It's over. Whatever you want, you got it. It's in your hand. Like Fabulous said, throw it in the bag. If I ain't got it, I'm going to go out here and get it. Women better learn the key to wife. Women better learn the key to wife. Right? You're going to win more arguments, negotiations. You can win all of them with that. He can be right and you can still win if you use your femininity. But nah, you want to fight his ass and beat him up. All right, we got Instagram back in. Let's get back to work. So yeah, is the woman motherly? That's a good one. Now number 8, Sadiq said this first, cooking. Now y'all might think I'm being a chauvinist when I say this, but you got to listen to me because I only associate with real black men, not scumbags, right? I associate with men who have black wives, who work and take care of those women, who are dedicated to those women and children, and dedicated to our community, right? So I'm going to tell you something about real black men right now. A real black man is a simple man. It's only a few things he needs. They don't vary very much. A real black man, this is why the cooking is important. A real black man is going to go to work and make money. Real black man probably going to be aiming to work for himself once he hit that alpha male level. But when he comes home, this is what he's going to want. Some of them like sports. Some of them like to read. Some of them like to smoke cigars. Some of them like to drink. Some of them, they have little things that they're going to want. They little hobbies, or you can call them little vices. They're going to want that. honey, I'm home. I want my cigar. Honey, I'm home. Give me my, put it on Sports Center. Little things that they like to do. But along with that, he's going to want sex. Some more than others. But they're going to want sex. Right? Don't let nobody fool you. That's a part of it. And they're going to want food. Okay? That's the three things they want. Let me let the cat out of the bag. That's the three things they want. You give them that, you can go to the mall. Wisdom thoughts. If you have a dispute, I'm almost on number 10, bring it up. Matter of fact, I'll bring your ass up on the screen. We can talk about it. Talk about these are just opinions. I know, but I bet they fit because I make men. Okay, I make. This man said, what advice do I have for a mixed couple? Don't mix. That's beyond my pay grade. I don't get down like that. So, food is a major component for a simple man. Real home cooked meals. When you bring it to him, I'm telling you, people say that's the way to a man's heart. It's not made up. If you don't cook for that man, and just tell him to go to Arby's or McDonald's, and he runs into some other woman that's willing to cook. Do you hear me? It's not going to be long before he's eating out of her kitchen, eating out of her hand, and leave right there. Okay? Real man. I'm talking about just a simple man now. He doesn't want too much. I rarely leave my house. Right? Unless I have to go to work or lift weights, go to court. But this is my leisure time. I spend most of it in my house because I got everything I need right here. Simple. That's why I don't get arrested. I don't go. Got to be special for me to go. Because that, man, is simple. And that food is important. Now, you can have these women saying, you're not going to have me in no kitchen. You ain't going to have me barefoot in no. First of all, that kitchen gives you power over what they eat, what's nutritious. I had 3 powerful sisters on a panel the other week. They all said that kitchen is your dominance. You can be making your family sick or you can be making them well. But the white feminists done convince you to give up your power in the kitchen. What your people are eating can be giving them cancer or can be giving them good lean muscle mass. You decide. Okay? All right. So cooking is important. Number 9. I'm keeping it real with y'all now. Physical attraction is a factor. Physical attraction, sex appeal, health, and a non-European look. Why do I say health and sex appeal? Well, you got some sisters out here, man, talking about they want to be married. Now, I ain't trying to offend nobody, but you don't look healthy. Severely overweight, hair falling out, skin looks terrible, eating the goddamn fast processed food, drinking sodas. You don't look healthy, and it doesn't look sexy. You got on 5 pounds of makeup, 5 feet of weave, and you're talking about you waiting on you're not healthy. Now, real men gotta look at that. Listen to me well. Part of the reason I picked my wife is because of how dark skinned she is, and she got natural hair. That's another thing. Real black men ain't gonna be looking for no European look. I'll get to that next. But when it comes to looking healthy and having sex appeal, and you over here with makeup caked on your face, your stomach hanging over your belt, right? You think that, now you got some people who like, how can I say this? Heavier women. That's if you're gonna get you a Jamaican, they tend to like the rounder women. But if I'm gonna be in the gym lifting damn weights, trying to keep myself in shape and look presentable, I'm probably going to be looking for a woman to do the same damn thing. Right? Because the person you marry, you got to wake up to for the rest of your life. And if they don't appeal to you sexually, what the hell you going to do, big fella? What the hell you going to do? It's a factor. Doctor says I'm objectifying women. No, the hell I ain't. You got a way you want your man to look. Most of y'all don't want a man with 3 chins, round belly. Most of you don't want that. All right, let's be honest. But what about you? Okay? Physical attraction is a factor. And the European look. I don't want no woman with no blonde damn weave. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now. As the consciousness of our people goes further and further, real black men are not going to want nothing but natural women. Sorry. You can say I'm discriminating. You can say whatever I want. But perms, hell no. My daughter will never get a perm. And that goes beyond the look, but that goes into the ideology. What the hell are you burning your head for to look like a European? You want a woman with a perm, Sadiq? Okay. Sadiq said no.
Your hair gonna be on the bed.
Your hair on the bed. My wife doesn't get perms. She did the big chop back at FAMU. I'm glad that some of the good cultural, positive information is being passed at the HBCUs. When I met her, she was natural. Today, she's natural. We've made a vow from the day our daughters was born that they'll never see a perm. I'm just telling you, the European look has got to go. No blonde hair, no perms. Now, I understand they get the braids, and these are things that I've been taught, because I have went so far to say I hate weave. But I understand that some of our sisters get the braids because it's better for your natural hair if you're not manipulating it constantly. And when you get the braids, it can go a month or so or whatever. You ain't got to bother and do things to it, and that lets it grow and strengthen. Okay, I can understand that. But the Nicki Minaj, no, I can't get with that. I can't get with that. I just thought about what I told that mixed couple, man. I'm a very vicious person. Okay. So yeah, physical attraction matters. That's number 9. But you see, it wasn't number 1. Because like I said, you got the baddest vixens and video vixens are single. Now you take that to the bank and cash it. And what I put as number 10 is this. Even a real black man who's as serious as me, I think I'm pretty serious when I need to be. Don't you think, Sadiq? Yeah. I got so serious one time I almost had to fight with some police because of the things they said to my little brother. So I know I'm serious. Anytime you can have BPM going strong for 9 damn years, right, that's consistency. You serious. But even the most serious revolutionary on the planet is going to want a woman that's fun to be around and have a sense of humor. You see what I'm saying? I come here and make a joke and you start telling me what bills need to be paid. Wait a damn minute. Can we talk for a minute? Don't hit me over the head with that. You can't tell a joke. You can't laugh. Man, sometimes man, my wife be sitting here laughing at the dumbest stuff. Most of the time we be laughing at them children. But a sense of humor, being fun to be around, that could get your man took. Right? If every time your man come home, you mad, you serious, you ain't smiling, you ain't laughing, and then he got Tanya at work laughing at all his jokes. They talking football. They talking politics. They friends. That could get your man taken. You better be able to laugh, converse, joke, and have a good time with your man. Because that by itself can get your man taken. Right? It's not the most important. There's other things that are important, but that's an important one. Because if I literally don't, every time I'm around you, it's serious. Every time I'm around you, this is what you need to do. I need you to go do. Whoa, damn it. You didn't see what Donald Trump dumbass said? Every day Donald Trump say some stupid shit. We can't laugh about something. Do you see? So that's important as well. So that's my list. That's my top 10. We went through it. It took what? Just barely over an hour. So Anybody that got questions, go ahead and throw them now. I'm taking all questions. Bring it. So I'm looking at an Instagram question now. So does this mean your man isn't faithful? Does what mean your man isn't faithful? Clarify that question, lady in Moav. I don't know what that is. Clarify that for me. I'll answer it. Anybody else got questions? Facebook, Instagram, throw them up. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'll answer a few of them. I got the champ right here. I got Vince Carter right here. Champ! I got Vince Carter right here dunking off Vert. Nah,
No, not yet.
can't even touch the backboard, big fella. He got to do some more squats. Let's see.
My knees bad.
Let's see what they got going on here on Instagram. I'm just looking at people here. Let's see. Whoever has questions, the objective should be holistic health. I agree with that. Won't get no argument. We ain't working out. You just eating bull. Yeah, ladies, you might want to go to the gym with your man. How you know that about Jamaicans? Hey, they asked me how I know that about Jamaicans. Well, I'll tell you how I know that Jamaicans, they like the plus size women. When I was in law school, I was probably the only guy that was a dean scholar at law school, but bouncing at ghetto nightclubs on the weekend because I ain't had no money. And one of the clubs that I bounced at was the Jamaican club, right? And so I got to learn their ways. First of all, Jamaican men are arrogant. Damn, I mean, they can be small and be arrogant as hell, ready to cut your neck off. And I'm for real, man. They off the chain, and they're like them big gals. Big girl go to the regular black club, don't get no play. She go to the Jamaican club, she Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? I just learned that from experience. What's your top 5 books? Number 1, the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Well, would I say Proverbs or would I say Matthew? Okay, I'm going to go with Matthew. Number 2, the destruction of black civilization. Every black person needs to read that book. If you come to me and say that you are for black empowerment, but you haven't read that book, that's like you telling me you're a Muslim and you haven't read the Quran. Right? Sadiq haven't read it yet, so he looking silly.
I'm not a Muslim.
I'm talking about the destruction of black civilization.
Oh, well, I'll read it. So I can catch it.
So, number 2 is the destruction. I say the book of Matthew because that's my spiritual basis. But if we take out that, if we just talking straight books, the destruction would be number 1. Sheikh Anta Diop's The African Origin of Civilization would be number 2. Dr. Clark, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust would be number 3. Dr. Claude Anderson, Power Numbers would be number 4. And Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow would be number 5. Those would be my top 5. Now I know everything can't get in, everything can't get in the top 5. It's a bunch I left out. But I just believe that destruction of black civilization is a must read. And nowadays you gotta read Berrudi's Homosexuality and the Feminization of the Black Male. Okay, you said that being serious all the time will get your man taken. So doesn't that mean your man isn't faithful? What I'm saying is that he can be faithful. See, I don't give excuses for men cheating, but there are factors that contribute to it. Some men are just dogs by nature. They was gonna cheat anyway. Some men are good men and are driven, or things happen that cause them to fall into that. And what I'm saying is that, now most of them are just dogs, because a real man, but not all men can just come home and be unhappy all the time and deal with it the right way. So what I'm saying is you can have a good man But if he come home every day, it's no good conversation. It's no pleasant time. It's just arguing and battering and serious and stress. That man gonna probably go out and look for some relief. And when your man is outside looking elsewhere for relief besides you, bad things happen. Okay? What if you don't believe in the same God as your lady? Well, it's only one God. So what? So I guess you mean, what if you're not the same spiritual system? Well, it depends on what frequency y'all elevating, what frequency you vibrating on. Because this is what I learned. The first level of consciousness, when you become conscious and black, you turn against religion. For the most part. You don't want Christianity, you don't want Islam, you don't want Judaism, you don't want anything, because you see how it's been used to oppress us, right? But once you get to the higher levels of consciousness, you recognize that all the spiritual systems emanate from Africa, and they're just different languages saying the same thing. Right? Same principles. Came from our ancestors. So if you're on that level of consciousness, and you're a Christian and she a Muslim, or you Hebrew Israelite and she just straight Kemetic, if you're on the higher levels of consciousness, you recognize that the principles are all the same. And they're just spoken in different languages. Even voodoo. You know what I'm saying? So, but if y'all not at that level of consciousness, and you think that, well, we have to say Allah, and you say, well, no, we have to say Moses or Jesus, then no, that's not going to work. That's never going to work. So that'll be my answer to that. I hope I answered your question. My friend going through this right now. His wife living with mother-in-law and another lady started playing on his need of attention. His wife is living with his wife is living, so they're living in two different places. That's going to be tough. You know, that's why a lot of the military marriages and the person get deployed don't work. You're living with your wife, that's going to be tough because there's going to be other women around. Could you elaborate briefly on the IG model type women being purposely single? No, I didn't say they was purposely single. I said that the IG models with these perfect bodies, some natural, some paid for, they have what you would think every man would want. So you would think man would be surrounding them and following them down the street. They would have a man. But obviously, the way they're presenting themselves and the attributes that they have beyond their bodies are attracting the wrong type of men. Because if you have a body like that, you should be able to get attention. If you attract 10 guys, at least one of them should be a good guy. Why don't you have a husband yet? Why aren't you a wife? You got 500,000 followers. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it's either the way they're presenting themselves or the overemphasis on the physical attributes to the neglect of the spiritual, mental, emotional, intellectual. That's causing you to be fine as hell and single as hell. You lonely as hell with your beautiful abdominal muscles and big thighs. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by that. Okay. Do you think there's an issue with a man wanting his wife to be a stay-at-home mom? My companion says this ain't the 60s and black people don't do that. Well, first of all, that should have been something you discussed before you got married. So I'm assuming this is a marriage, because marriage is a contract. And everybody needs to make their intentions known before we enter this contract. So if you told her before the marriage that my ideal situation is to have you to be a stay-at-home wife, and she said, you know what, I would like that, and now you got in a financial position to allow her to do that, and she says no, see, that's a problem, because we had already talked about this, right? But if she already told you she planned to be out with her own career, doing her own thing, and now you come talking about the stay-at-home wife, that's a tad bit different. Now, Elijah Muhammad would say the woman needs to be in the home because the white man preys on her out in the workplace. And there's truth to that. But if you financially can carry the whole load by yourself, she doesn't need to work. She can dedicate all her time to the home, the children, and all of that. Still, that's going to take an adjustment for her if she's used to working and being out. But I would like to have a stay-at-home wife. But right now, you know, a lot of marriages are both parties working just to have enough and more than enough financially. But let's just say I keep making money, but I probably wouldn't want my wife to do that because of the way her mind is wired. She needs to be doing something. Now, she's going to start a business at home, okay, to occupy her free time and keep her engaged. That might be a one option. But, yeah, I believe it would be best if the mom could devote all her time to the house. But the way our women are wired at this time, and a lot of the circumstances, but this brother seems to be in a position where he can do that. So I would say it goes back to what y'all originally talked about. That's what I would say to that question. Could you give me some resources on how to grow a faithful woman? How to grow a faithful woman. Not in touch with her feminine side. Okay, so I guess this person is saying that he has a faithful woman, but she's not in touch with her feminine side. How can he help her? She needs to get around women who are. That's your best bet, big fella. Because you just telling her this coming from a man, a lot of times our women aren't going to just listen to us because they're saying, well, you're a man, you don't understand. She needs to get around women who have successful, long-term, 10 years plus marriages and let them work on her. Because it's going to be hard. If they're telling her you got a good man, you kind of need to work on this. She can't say they don't know what they're talking about. She can't say, well, they're not a woman, they don't understand. She can't say, well, how do they know? Because clearly they know. Right? If I were you, I would try to get her around some of those type of women so that they can kind of mold her. Because, I mean, you just being a man and being an alpha and being a leader, that's going to have an impact in and of itself. Don't get neutered. That'll have an impact even of itself. But even further, I would get her around some older ladies, not old like 70, 80, maybe 45, 55, successful marriages who can say, look, baby, you got a good man. These are some mistakes that you're making, right? And they can have a great impact. They say, repeat the top 5. I believe I said Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of Black Civilization, Sheikh Anta Diop, The African Origin of Civilization, Dr. Clark, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics, and Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. My goal is to be a stay-at-home mom that works from home. Already work from home part-time. So it's possible. Don't listen to them. Good woman right there. Man, when I hear women that say they main goal is to be a wife and be a mother and build a home and support their man and do their own entrepreneurship thing, that just does my heart well. We had 3 women like that on our panel yesterday. They said their number one, not yesterday, Saturday, their number one thing is to be a wife and support their husband. Boy, look at here. It's no coincidence that they all have husbands. Sadiq. Okay, I dated men who didn't grow up with a father. I did, and a lot are a little lost in terms of what it means to be a man. Date him or no? Well, you said a little lost. How lost? Because you're right, a lot of us didn't have traditional fathers in the household. But see, that's the thing. Who was saying that? It might have been irritated they were saying that the black woman has a real keen ability to see the potential in a man. And my wife saw the potential in me. So I would say, if you see the key attributes of manhood in him, although he don't know how to be a man yet, hell, I'm still learning and I'm 30. If you see commitment, long term, he's showing you that he can commit to something. If you see work ethic, motivation, and ambition, if you see discipline and restraint, if you see these basics and that he wants you, I would say date him. Some things can be worked on as we go, right? But if you don't even see those, because see, those are kind of natural, those are kind of inherent. If he quit everything he ever started, don't date the nigga. You can't do nothing for more than a year, get the hell out. Started working out, you stop. Started school, you stop. Started a business, gave up on. No. Don't date him. I would say look for those key fundamental attributes. I used to make fun at stay-at-home mothers until I became a mother. If you make fun of stay-at-home mothers, that ain't smart. Can I get a recommended reading? I just said it twice. That's enough. Can you please repeat? I just said it twice. Why do black women choose hood thug men over good black men? That's another thing. That should have been on the list. Because one of the main things y'all got to stop doing, and I done seen this as well, because although I came from the hood, I never sold dope or shot people. I had family members that did, but I just lifted weights, went to church, went to school, and played football. The main thing a lot of y'all women got to stop doing is overlooking good men. Right? Because you're looking for a cross between 50 Cent, LeBron James, and Usher Raymond. You'll let a good man go because you got some dumbass idea of what the hell you're looking for. You want a thug that's 7'5" with a 6-pack. Shut the hell up. You better find out what's really important in a man. And when you see, because I told that last person, when you see those key attributes, you better jump on it. Why do they go for that? That's how a lot of them were socialized. I remember my sister once told me that she doesn't want a man without a felony. If you were socialized that way, if you didn't have a dad to show you what true manhood is, if you're getting your idea of manhood from hip-hop videos, well, of course you're going to have a skewed sense of what a man is. Right? If you're not mature enough to know what's important in a marriage, that's why I say, do you respect marriage? Do you want a marriage? Discipline is important in a marriage. Restraint, long-term commitment, those are important in a marriage. Tattoos and gold teeth aren't important. If you're not mature enough to know what's important in a marriage, then you're going to continue to pick the wrong men. So that goes back to maturity, that goes back to consciousness, that goes back to intelligence. So, I know good women who didn't know what it meant, who didn't know how to select a good man, and they let good men walk by, and they still single to this day. I'm talking 10 damn years later, when they could have been married. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Good question. Mayo, 2008, 2016. I'm blasting this live on loudspeakers. Once Attorney Awesome gets to my question, she will hear it. Well, I hope she hear it. Okay. Those were some great credentials you listed, especially when you said you better be able to laugh and have fun. That's at the top of my list. Great session, Attorney Awesome. Roll Tide. Well, I agree with everything there except the Roll Tide part. Because I can't stand Nick Saban. All right. Don't realize you were talking about your wife. Sorry. Didn't mean don't listen to her. Thought you were saying you found... Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Good looking out. Hopefully your family structure can defer. Well, if Big Fella said he want her to be a stay-at-home wife, that means Big Fella ready to pay all that. Appreciate it, fam. Salute. Can you come back from being a homosexual? Now, how the hell that made that into this? I'm talking about being a wife. Okay. Me and my wife actually had this discussion the other night because she said, Vern. Now, I'm gonna answer this question because it's an important question. It's off topic. I normally like to stay on topic, but this is an important question. My wife said, Vern, you so hard against the LGBT movement, and we were talking about black males at this time, specifically, not females, because females, they can dibble and dabble and ribble and rabble, and when they come back, everybody will forget all the stuff they did. It's not as much of a taboo because they feminine. But I'm talking about black male homosexuality. That shit is that's serious. Even though black women shouldn't be doing it either, but this is what my wife said to me. She said, "You go so hard against them. Why would any black male want to come out of that lifestyle if they're not going to be accepted anyway?" I said, number one, it depends on the intensity with which you are in that lifestyle. You know, I've encountered young boys and young teens who have done questionable things, but they haven't been sodomized. They haven't jumped all the way over into that life. And so they're just confused, and, you know, that's easy to deal with. But if you're talking about a full-fledged black male that's been fully involved in that lifestyle, my wife said, "See, Vern, you may look at it different than me," because she said, "I see it as a spiritual thing that they have to overcome, a spirit." I said, "Well, have you ever known any men to overcome it?" We just have an honest discussion now. She said that she knew one. Right? She said that she knew one. So I said, "You're right. No one would want to leave that lifestyle if they're not going to ever be accepted back again. But that's such a intense, in-depth lifestyle counter to what we stand for that I don't have the answer all the way. I don't have the answer to that all the way. Right? You got to go ask that to Baba Baruti. Go straight to Baruti with that one. I don't have the answer all the way. Because it's levels to this. And if a black man realizes that lifestyle is wrong and gives it up, I guess if you can give up being a dog or an alcoholic or a crack addict, you could probably give that up too. But like I said, I don't have all the answers on that one. Go to Baba Baruti and go to Dr. Umar. Go to them. Because I know what irritated guys. see what's their answer. All right. I've seen a lot of good girls go bad. Yeah, they can. Yeah. Homosexuality, they say, is it a mindset or a disease? It can be both. Okay. How in the hell is homosexuality coming up in this discussion? A mixture of issues, LGBT on that. One more question, Attorney Officer. My wife hates guns. So, just keep buying them. She'll get used to it. Don't want them in the house. Says I should be old school and use my hands. Can you go? This is how you convince her. Sean Taylor had a machete. Sean Taylor was the baddest safety in the University of Miami history. Bad safety, busting heads on the field for the Washington Redskins. Lived in a great neighborhood in a mansion. Thugs scouted him out. Came in his house on more than one occasion. He didn't have a gun. He tried to have a machete. They had guns. He got up and tried to defend his family with a machete. He dead now. How the hell you gonna use your hands when criminals got AK-47s? Huh? Anderson Silva can't beat the AK-47, can he, Sadiq? Mike Tyson can't beat a 50 cal, can he? You need to buy you some guns, and if your wife don't like it, she'll get used to it. How about that? Now, don't you get me started on that. Because, see, my wife didn't really like them either when I got started. But what happened was we was in a situation where some dudes acted kind of crazy. We in Duval. I know they had guns. I'm 6 foot 280. They ain't finna fight me. They finna shoot. You know what? My wife agreed. She said, you need to get a gun. Now, she didn't say I need to get 12 guns, but you open the damn door and I'm going to run through it. In Jesus' name, amen. How do you feel about mixed minority couples? Hispanic women with black men, even if he or she fits the qualities of a perfect wife or husband. Hispanic is not a race. You could be a white Hispanic or a black Hispanic. If they're a white Hispanic with predominantly European ancestry, that's not a black woman. And if you follow this page, you ought to know that I say straight black pride. The only acceptable mate for a black man is a black woman, and for a black woman is a black man. No, period. Now, if you ask me how I feel about another kind of couple, I don't feel any kind of way. I don't deal with those. There's also men who cheat on their wife with the man on the down low. Well, babe, I don't know how this thing keep coming up, but there are men who cheat on their wife with a man on the down low, and that's the cause of AIDS. And that's why Atlanta is like a third world country when it comes to AIDS. So when you see these dudes with these tight ass pants, right, they still straight. They still straight. They got these tight ass pants and their nails look better than yours. And they don't got no hair on their face. They manicured and pedicured up. Baby, your man shouldn't be prettier than you. When your man starts to be prettier than you, you better watch yourself. My bishop would say. So that's a major problem. So ladies, don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the signs. If he listens to Young Thug, he's on the down low. Now, I give you that one to go with. Not sure it takes a serious spirit to get to lie with the next man. I don't know what that means. The LGBTQ movement has been used to obliterate. Well, I'm going to just read this because this ain't a question, but this is a comment and it's beautiful. The LGBTQ movement, and it's trying to add a P to it for pedophilia. The LGBTQP movement is being used to obliterate the black family, emasculate the black man, which has been a historical effort on the part of this effed up society. That's Vivian Think, and she's, I don't know if that's a man or a woman, but whoever that is, you're absolutely right. How about that? Guns. Don't bring hands to a gunfight. That's right. I mean, I think that's pretty simple. Self-presentation. All right. First was a time when black folks wouldn't own guns. Buy as many can before. Okay, I guess we got through all the questions. It's been great talking to you guys. If you're in the North Florida area, we have a big BPM Community Empowerment session coming up next Saturday. We have a huge Kwanzaa event coming up on the 30th. We got a toy drive that's going on. Donate some toys to the kids. One thing about BPM, we're not about talk. We just do these little talks to get the ideology out there. But we more about work. We got kids that we done grew from boys to men. Now we working on young queens that we growing into queenship. We really about this. We put our money behind it. We put our time behind it. It's not one day a week. It's every damn day that they need you. That's why I got this African right here. And so the work speaks for itself. The talk, I don't think you ought to be talking unless you can show the work that you did. Like your math teacher used to say, show your work. So we got a lot coming up in Duval as we close out this year. We closing out big. I already got my word from God for 2018. It's going to be ridiculous. 2018 is going to be ridiculous. Right? 2017 was magnificent. I already got my word from God concerning 18. It's going to be ridiculous. So we finna close out 17 real strong in the community. And we all about economic, political, and social independence and the ability to do for self. to protect what you have and not depend on nobody else. So, BPM today.
BPM tomorrow. BPM for life.
Bang. What's your favorite home defense weapon? So I keep an AK by the side of the bed, but I like my DP-12, and you can't go wrong with a Mossberg. It's just that they don't have high capacity. So I would say either my DP-12 or my AK-47. Peace out. Sadiq, dunk on them. We out of here.